forever and ever and ever. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. We are one with the infinite sun, forever and ever and ever. We are one with the infinite sun, forever and ever and ever. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. We are in tune with our sister the moon, forever and ever and ever. We are in tune with our sister the moon, forever and ever and ever. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. We are one with the infinite sun, forever and ever and ever. We are one with the infinite sun, forever and ever and ever. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. We are in tune with our sister the moon, forever and ever and ever. We are in tune with our sister the moon, forever and ever and ever. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate ayano ayano ayano. Namaste, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this amazing equinox ceremony. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much, beautiful souls, for hearing the call. And like, we're doing this for all our brothers and sisters. We're doing it for the whole collective. We're doing it for all the future generations in all timelines, past, parallel, present and future. Like, we're doing this for the whole. We're recorrecting and resetting that which was, you know, somewhat interfered with. But it's our job as Christed sovereign beings to assist in the recorrection of a lot of this stuff that we're going to be specifically focused on today. So thank you all so much, brothers and sisters. I think this would be a really, really great opportunity now for us to light our candles and light some, if you've got any sage or Palo Santo, now would be the perfect moment to get the old sage burning. So we're just going to open up our sacred space, prepare for this really, really deep journey that we're about to go on. So yeah, just inviting you to just activate your altar space and just give it some love, give it some attention. That's fine. So just to let everybody know, this is the equinox transmission, and everybody who is here has signed up and sent an energy exchange to be part of this. So if you are tuning into this at a later time, you are more than welcome, but you're invited to really stay in alignment with integrity and to send forth an energy exchange from your heart. Whatever it is from your heart will be totally, totally acceptable. So, so yeah, that's a message to anyone, and that's fine. You can just send energy exchanges after, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to give everyone a couple more minutes to jump on the call. I'm just going to light some Palo Santo now. Hello, Angela. Hello, Ria. Hi, Linda. Hi, Casey. Hi, Soul Fam. Oh my gosh. Right, so I'm just lighting my Palo Santo. So just a little message. For those of you who have never done a transmission before, it's basically a very, very, very deep guided meditation. And so we access the realms of the unconscious and the superconsciousness. And so because we're working with those frequencies, it can really, really instantly knock you out. And even if you're sitting up, it can knock you out. So, but it's much more likely for that to happen if you're lying down. So if you really, really want to be present throughout the whole ceremony, I would just invite you to sit up just with me like I am. Just sit up and just and be present, and just, you know, and we will go on the most incredibly deep journey probably of all of our lives. Like I've seen the intel for this transmission, and it is absolutely phenomenal. So also very, very important, please do not make comments when the meditation is running. Do not make comments, because actually what is happening is that with our collective energy, we are creating an energetic grid. And if you start making comments and start bringing your energy out of the meditation, it actually creates a leak. It creates a leak in this very, very, very super important equinox container. So please don't, just don't. And definitely this is not the kind of ceremony where you can kind of like have this box open and other tabs open. It's like you have to like show up and do this work if you're really going to do it. So if you're not really in the space for like a meditation, I would recommend doing it before bed. You know, like it's going to be about an hour and a half. Just stick your earphones in and just do it before bed, where you can really, really be present. But it's like we've all got to think about each other. So don't bring in a leaky energy into this group container. Let's make it as tight and as absolutely sealed and as potent as we possibly can by super, super focusing. What else? I think that was all really for the announcements. So for those of you that have never taken part in a transmission before, it's basically a very, very deep meditation, visualization. So that's what it is. So basically just now, make sure that you find yourself, you know, in a comfortable position, because brothers and sisters, we are about to begin. So really, truly, deeply giving thanks to the 182 brothers and sisters that are present on this call. I honour you. I respect you. I am so deeply grateful to your higher self that we are connected and that you heard the call to show up for this extremely important Earth ceremony that is going to assist our entire galactic team to bring through and align swiftly with the full ascension timeline for Gaia. So please know, brothers and sisters, that the work that we are doing could be perceived as on the higher, subtler planes of consciousness. But it is on these planes of consciousness in the etheric realms that creates the perfect blueprint for the earthly density realms. And so everything has to be created on as an etheric blueprint. And that is the role that we have got, is to come together with this awakened, enlightened group intentions to set forth these blueprints that are in alignment with God's heart, with Mother, Father, God's heart and God's intentions for his and her children. So because we are working perfectly in alignment with our Creator's intentions, this means that we attract the most extraordinary benevolent support from far and wide in our universe, because our intentions are aligned with the highest Creator's intentions, Prime Creator. So I just want you to know, brothers and sisters, this is very, very huge. And most people that show up for the transmissions have had vast and extensive lifetimes in Atlantis and Lemuria, and have had roles of very, very significant leadership in these particular times and places of Atlantis and Lemuria. And so really, really, this is a gathering of leaders, to be honest with you, brothers and sisters. And those souls that truly, truly hear this call to come forward for ceremonies of this calibre, please, please know that you are a vast, eternal, holy, mighty starseed being. You know, for you to be here now, in this place, at this time, like, speaks encyclopedias of information to me about who you actually are on a soul level. And this is not in any way to boost anyone's ego in any way, because we know that absolute humility is the only way for us to anchor this fifth dimensional paradigm. But I really, truly want to send the most deepest arrow of respect to all of you who have heard the call. Truly. So on that note, brothers and sisters, we are now going to start this equinox ceremony. So just inviting you to find yourself in a comfortable position. And close your eyes and begin to take some deep breaths. Breathing in through your navel centre. And as you breathe out, relaxing your shoulders. On the next out breath, relaxing your jaw, and all of your facial muscles. Bringing your awareness to where your body is in contact with the floor or the chair. And attuning to the sensation of feeling supported. Feeling like you are worthy of being carried. That it is safe for you now to fully and absolutely surrender. To allow any walls, any shields to gently drop. That you may be fully aligned with your divine eternal self, your Christed self, the aspect of your consciousness that is eternally observing, watching the rise and fall of all thoughts and emotions. Now in the centre of your chest, visualise a beautiful white flame. Very, very soft, small white flame. And as you observe this white flame in the centre of your chest, just the very act of observing it initiates a kindling activation. And you notice that it's actually a kindling pieces of wood. And just please observe now how this ignites. As we are going to set a flame, the Christ white flame, deep in our chests. And just get a sense now of your higher self, your higher angelic self, just coming forward with a fan, just with feathers, just fanning this flame. Just observe how it very, very beautifully and very gently begins to expand and becomes lighter and lighter. And as the frequency intensifies, it becomes more transparent. And just observe that within this burning white flame that is becoming translucent, there are the numbers 333, which represents the Christ seal. Just observe these numbers. And just allow this now to settle as the opening energetic, this equinox transmission. We shall be working with the Christ flame throughout the entire ceremony. Just inviting us all to bring our awareness to where our body is in contact with the floor or the chair. And on the next out breath, visualizing a grounding cord coming out of our root center. And like a golden snake, visualize it wrapping itself tightly around the core of Mother Earth. And with each out breath, allow your grounding cord to go deeper and deeper. Allow it to go deeper than it has ever been. It's almost like it's going miles down into inner earth. And as you send your grounding cord deeper and deeper, you notice at the very tip of your grounding cord, there is a link. And you notice now at the very bottom of the earth, where we have reached, there is an identical link. So on the count of 3, we're going to attach these links with your grounding cord to the core of the earth. 1, 2, 3. And as this occurs, this activates a rainbow crystalline frequency which enters through your grounding cord. Now use your breath to breathe up this rainbow crystalline healing frequency. And breathe it specifically into areas that are causing you discomfort at the moment, or organs that are in need of replenishment. Just take a moment to direct this energy to a part of your body that is in need of an extra boost of healing. And as it arrives in the location of the area of your body, you notice that it transforms into a golden molten liquid which covers that area. And it is very obvious to us that this is connecting to our Christ seal. This healing is connected to our Christ seal. And now allow all of this beautiful rainbow crystalline light frequencies to surround your entire auric field now, and feel yourself inside this bubble. And this is a bubble of love. This is a bubble of home. This is a bubble of truth, of soul family, Christ consciousness, divine holy union. Just open your palms now and allow yourself to receive this auspicious blessing from your higher self. And visualize this light pouring in through your palms. And this light is representative of all the love that you have given to others. All that love is now being given back to you. And get a sense of whether your cup is empty or full right now. And notice that this light, this liquid golden light, is filling your cup. This is the most truest love in the universe. Feel the frequency of the angelic beings in this bubble that are communicating to you of your worth, how precious you are, how so, so, so loved you are. The angels are whispering and they are singing. Healing frequencies. Be open to receive them. Just allow these frequencies to wash all over you. Very powerful angelic frequencies are pouring through right now. This is from your higher self. Your personal higher self is giving you this blessing. This point you notice that there is some activity on the top of your crown, and this has now opened to create a pillar of golden light. It's extending from your crown. It's like a rope, golden rope, that is connecting you to your higher self. And your higher self is pouring back to you all of the love that you have freely given to everyone. They're giving it all back to you. Open to receive this now. And use your breath to receive this into your cells, into your heart, into your lungs, into your organs. This is your healing. This is our healing. Higher self are really working you now, brothers and sisters, and they are sending light frequencies down this golden cord. Open your palms, open your heart to receive this dispensation. This is a highly auspicious Christ seal equinox blessing. This is taking us to the next stage of our evolution, brothers and sisters. Observe now how your vessel is being so filled with this golden elixir that it is beginning to spill out of your crown, and it is beginning to bubble like a fountain, and it is bubbling out into your auric field, and you are entirely bathed in this golden, crystalline, Christed healing light. Visualize yourself entirely infused with these golden frequencies. Take 3 deep breaths, breathing in this knowing that you are carrying these golden frequencies on your skin. Breathe this knowing into your deepest core 3 times. And as you breathe out, allow the gold to intensify and become brighter Allow these frequencies into your heart. Allow these frequencies to touch upon your inner child. This is a call out to your inner child. Take a moment now telepathically to share a message with your inner child that it is safe for them to show themselves to you now. There is no ascension party without the inner child. This is a very, very powerful galactic call out to your inner child. It is time now for you to come forward. It is time now for us as a human species to bow to your divine innocence. For truly this is the most holy and sacred energy on this earth and beyond. The human child, the Christed seed. The direct offspring of Mother, Father, God. You notice now in front of you is a golden door. A golden door has suddenly appeared, and like a magnet you are drawn to this golden door. And as you open this golden door, you open this door and your inner child is there. And just allow them to run up to you and jump in your arms. And swing them around. And just give them so much love right now. Because they are your everything. They are your everything and beyond. Really feel this heart medicine expanding now for all of us. Just inviting each of us to take a moment to have a telepathic conversation with our inner child along the lines of, we will never ever abandon you ever again. We will never ever ignore you ever again. We will always listen to you forever and ever. Please begin. You can ask also what they like, what do they like to do. And as this beautiful exchange is occurring, you both look down and you realise that you're both actually wearing golden bands on your wedding finger. And these are identical bands. And they symbolise your eternal bond. And just notice now as you and your little child look down at your rings that are identical, which are symbolic of your eternal bond. At this point, your inner child runs towards you, you pick them up, and just have the most beautiful hug Just feel their trust and promise them that they will have fun, that you will make sure that they get to play every single day. Promise them. They will get to laugh, they'll get to play, they'll get to have joy. Tell them. And at this point, you and your beautiful inner child, you're carrying your inner child, and you walk up to the other side of the room, and you realise that there's a beautiful golden chair, and you and your inner child sit together. And as you sit there, all of a sudden that golden door opens, and again we have Nikola Tesla coming in. Just feel the presence of Nikola Tesla, very, very, very high frequency galactic brother, bringing forth codes that activate, shift very, very efficiently. And we also notice that in comes Lord Ganesha, the Indian Hindu god associated with removing obstacles. We notice the benevolent, extraordinary presence of Lord Ganesha. So we have Tesla, Lord Ganesha. And at this point, we also notice that we have Lord Sananda, who is known as Yeshua. And we have Mary Magdalene, his divine counterpart, also known as Lady Nada. Just feel their very higher dimensional energy entering into this beautiful white room. And the Ascended Masters stand in a circle, and as they stand in a circle, they close their eyes. And as they close their eyes, a holographic version of Earth appears in holographic form for us all to see. And we are being shown that there is a grid, and it is actually diminishing as we speak. We're being called in for the final clear up. So what is actually left of this grid is strings, grey strings. So we're being shown this grid. This is comprised of quite grey strings of quite a thin texture, but quite a lot of them. So just observe this grid, and it is clear to us that it is a lower frequency controlled grid. We're just observing it now. I'm also observing that it's disintegrating before our eyes, because already this momentum has been activated. We are coming forth to assist in this momentum. So even just the simple act of us observing this grid that has been associated with the manipulation, control of humanity's innocence, specifically as a specifically targeted issue. As we are observing this, it is diminishing, it is disintegrating right before our very, very eyes. And then at this point, we notice that in the very, very central core of the Earth, of the holographic vision of Earth that we are being shown, we are now being shown that a golden chamber is opening in the galactic core. And as this chamber opens, just please observe how your inner child now jumps down off your arms and runs to the centre of that core. Visualising all of us starseeds in this gathering now, our child self in all his or her extraordinary and profound glory. Just observing them there in the very, very centre, the core of the earth, laughing, playing, jumping around, being safe. And as this occurs, a very, very, very beautiful statue begins to emerge. And it is symbolic of the Christed child, and it is in a golden statue form. Just observe now, this is manifesting in the central core of Gaia. This, at the moment, it's in the form of a golden statue of the Christed child. It's an androgynous child. It's the Christ Sophia child that holds the balance of the masculine and feminine energies within. So it can have either a male or a female body. It is one and the same. So visualize this child, this beautiful golden child, getting bigger and extending in height. And this child now is 3 foot. And it is now extending in full velocity. And it is actually becoming a giant. It's becoming like a giant baby child. Now, I'm inviting everybody now who does light language or toning or singing. We are going to work with this energy to build this child energy in the core of the earth. It's inviting everybody to do light language. Get your crystal bowls out. And we'll set forth this intention. Visualizing this child, this baby, this aspect of pure and utter earthly Christed innocence is now becoming a giant form, super giant form in saturated golden liquid is pouring from this child. Use the power of your God Almighty imagination to visualize this now. Being shown that all of us, all of our inner children that are in this inner core have a golden link with this particular baby child that is forming in the central core. It is, this aspect has very, very important mastery codes. And as this baby continues to grow in velocity, it reaches a point where the top of the head actually pops out of Gaia. And as it pops out of Gaia, it emits this very, very chunky rain. Just observe that, this chunky rain. Like big chunks of golden rain are pouring down into the earth. As this baby self, this has taken precedence in the central core. This is the most important energy, is the child, is the baby. This is the most important energy in this universe. It's time now, brothers and sisters, to share your light language. We are making this so. visualizing this chunky golden rain raining down on all the schools, all the nurseries, all the institutions, the hospitals, all the parks. The whole world is being infused with this truthful consciousness, Christ consciousness, that the innocence of the child is the most important energy in this universe. Overwriting all old templates, erasing them at their utter core, returning the source of crystalline light back to the central core of Gaia, overwriting all lower timeline agendas are invisible, not existing in this frequency, not able to exist. Boom! And as this tone is emitted, it begins to stir that golden child that is whatever you see it to be. And this golden child now begins to animate and becomes alive as the light of Christ, of pure highest God consciousness, is fully and absolutely ignited in their soul and core. Just observing that this golden baby is now surrounded in many, many musical notes. There are many musical notes within this core of the earth. The notes are symbolic of a shift in frequency at the core. And the child is very happy, very dancing, very safe, very, 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 very safe. And so it is, and so it is. Taking 3 deep breaths now, brothers and sisters. As we feel the essence of our own inner child now that is running back to us. It's running back to us. And it had its little play. But at this point now, our work is complete on all levels, on all planes. We have done absolutely, precisely what we came here to do. And all of our galactic team know that. So therefore, the holographic vision of the Earth has transformed now to a pillar of white light. And you and your inner child are magnetized into this pillar of light. And as you step into this pillar of light, just feel the sacred merge of these 2 spiraling energies spiraling up and down this pillar of light. As for possibly the deepest time in your life, you truly, absolutely merge with your most important inner child. So just getting a sense of these sacred energies as 2 spirals of light, and as it gets faster and faster, it becomes 1 spiral of light. spiraling up and down the pillar of light as you merge, as you integrate this merge with your inner divine child. And we are now in the 0 point field of consciousness, of all time, of no time. The place where all timelines converge, where we, in our unified state of consciousness, have access to all multiple dimensional realms. But we only can get there through our heart. Our heart is our spacecraft to get us to the higher dimensions. The mind will never ever get you there. Finding yourself comfortable in the 0 point. This place of unity where all duality has merged, where the masculine and feminine has merged, where the inner child has merged, where the dark and the light has merged. The 0 point is the point of wholeness, of true seeing. And via the 0 point field of consciousness, we are able to go anywhere, in any time, in any space, in any realm. And right now, we, as a ground crew team, are being called to Mount Shasta. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, we find ourselves in the circle of 234 brothers and sisters right now, all dressed in white, with bare feet. We find ourselves at the base of Mount Shasta. And there is the most extraordinary sunset that we have ever witnessed in our lives taking place. There are spaceship clouds galore, magenta, purple. Just feel that amazing presence of your soul family in Mount Shasta right now. And as we are there, we are attracting the attention of many, many other high frequency beings that are connected to this particular portal on this date. And we are opening our circle to our galactic brothers and sisters who have been waiting for us. And these are the Pleiadians, and specifically the Arcturians. Just getting a sense of this amazing galactic presence coming into our circle now, as we stand as one equal, awakened team. And in our great circle there is excitement amongst us. There is definite excitement amongst us. Something is going down. Just as we are standing in this great circle, all of a sudden, from the very, very centre of our particular gathering, a rainbow bridge begins to form. And it is an electric holographic rainbow bridge that is extending into Mount Shasta, into an underground chamber in Mount Shasta. And as we are being shown this most exquisite sight, all of a sudden we notice that we have our blue avian brothers and sisters that are actually walking across the rainbow. And they are coming from inner earth, a lot of these, not all of them. Just feel this presence of this. There's actually a bit of a community of them that are wanting to come through. They're a bit of a tribe. Just feel this sense, these blue avian beings, and they're very cool, they're very psychedelic. They're extremely funky and interesting and not threatening to us. They kind of look like birds, like human birds, and we can handle it. And they're very, very light, and they've got beautiful eyes, and their eyes are so playful, and their eyes are just have so much love, like like they want us to know that we are safe. Just take a moment to tune in. They may look different, but they simply adore us. And they are our family. Just feel this amazing reunion as these blue avian beings come across this rainbow bridge. And they come and connect with us, and it's all very, very natural, like being at a festival and meeting a new group of people, beings. What are you feeling right now? I'm feeling so much excitement. Very, very playful energy, very intimate, very, very wanting to connect on a real level, like on a healing level. In a way that will serve you, will uplift you. Just feel the love, feel the benevolence of these beautiful, beautiful beings. You could say our cousins, you could say our brothers and sisters. All is true. Galactic cousins. At this point, there seems to be a leader of these blue avians who they communicate telepathically to each other, and all of a sudden there is a line is being made, and this line is everyone gets in this line, all the avian beings get in this line, and we are all telepathically communicated that it's time for us to follow this where they're going. So just feeling us all now, just walking across this rainbow, being guided by these beautiful familial avian beings. And actually we are being taken very, 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 very deep in the underground chambers of Mount Shasta that specifically lead to the inner earth. But we are actually going there vibrationally via the Rainbow Bridge. So we're just going to enter into a few tunnels now, a few crystalline tunnels. And then the leader of the avians, he's very, very far along, and he has found himself in the front of this golden door. And he opens this golden door, and as he opens this golden door, he opens it out into a lake, a most otherworldly lake. And above this lake there is a blue orb. It's a blue orb. And then as this door opens, all of us just flock into this space, which looks like an earthly place, actually, also. But it's an inner earth. place. And we are being shown a lake. And as we are shown this lake, we are shown that this lake represents, the lake is holding some debris, and it is working on a holographic level with the earth to clear this. And this is symbolic of programming between the masculine and feminine. So just take a moment to get a sense of these murky waters that we've been brought to. And it's to do with programming around lack and fear, specifically, that have kept romantic relationships very, very much entrenched in the third dimension. And so it's all of that programming of fear and lack, specifically, that we are being asked to clear for the entire collective and for ourselves personally. Just observe this lake. And all of a sudden, a whirlpool opens in the centre of the lake, and a golden box opens. And then all of a sudden, the lake kind of, it starts, some sort of like very mild entities start forming, kind of like amoebic entities of that old programming form, but they're actually being suctioned now into this whirlpool. There's a whirlpool that has opened, and it is suctioning this black energy, this toxic energy that is symbolic of the false programming, the 3D programming. Just observe now. On the count of 3, we shall fill that entire box with all of these black amoebic entities. 1. Just get a sense now of anywhere within your own self, from your own ancestry, from your own karma perhaps, through your own choices that you made when you were asleep. This is an opportunity now for all of us to cleanse these programs that actually exist within our emotional body. And that is why we are being guided to work with the water element. This is a transmutation with the water emotional element of our being. This is a very, very, very deep toxic program being cleaned now, brothers and sisters. It's very, very high level work. So just getting a sense now of within your own self as well, that there is a whirlpool has opened in your navel centre, just as this whirlpool has opened in the centre of this lake. And just get a sense now if there's any last residues within your own personal self, allow them to be magnetised into the centre of this whirlpool. And we're going to complete this on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. At this point, the golden box closes in the very, very centre of this lake. And at this point, the whirlpool inside your being has automatically closed and transmuted all of that. And then at this point, something extremely miraculous occurs. And the golden box begins to spew out golden rainbow roses. So just observe now as this whole lake is being filled up with holographic rainbow roses. They are big, they are giant, they are small, of all sizes, all forms of rose. And notice now within your own sacral centre, there is also from the centre of your being, there is a spewing forth of this beautiful rainbow crystalline rose energy. And just allow your whole womb or your whole pelvis area to be infused with this beautiful rainbow rose energy, very high frequency energy. So we visualise this beautiful lake that is now one golden rose lake. Everything's become very, very golden. We notice that our avian brothers and sisters are laughing, and they're definitely not laughing at us. They're laughing at how fast, at how efficient, how swiftly we did that, and how we can get so much done when we all work together. When all of our galactic teams work together, we get so much done. So feel this great joy, all avian beings. And just allow this energy within your own self, allow this energy to run. There's no need to stop, there's no need to end that. You can fill your sacral area with golden rainbow roses. And as we are standing there, we've completed our job with the rainbow roses. All of a sudden, we each have a blue avian brother or sister assigned to us. Just get a sense now, you're now standing in front of a blue avian being. It can be male or female. It is your connection. Be open. And it's a telepathic connection. And a lot of them have blue eyes. And a lot of them have green eyes as well. And actually what they're doing is they're scanning you. They're giving you a body scan. And the specific intel was to work with the energies of balance, to do with the equinox. And so we are all being scanned to see where we are in balance with our male and female energies within. And the ideal is, if you are a feminine, to have 51% feminine and 49% masculine. And if you are masculine, it is ideal to have 51% masculine and 49% feminine. I really hope I said that right. They're scanning you, and just open now to allow yourself to receive healing, personal healing. We are all being asked to place our hands out, and our guide, our friend, is going to place their palms above us and is going to balance us. If you are open and willing, you can say, yes, I am open and willing to attaining perfect vibrational balance between my masculine and feminine energies. You can say that. I say that. And if you are open to that, you can open your palms. And they will do subtle adjustments. Many of us will be noticing automatic shifts in any aches and pains that we've been carrying. We are truly, truly entering new timelines and new templates of healing and wellness. Message from our avian brothers and sisters is that a lot of them are very, very overwhelmed with emotion, that this has been allowed to take place on this level, and they are also assimilating this. But they are very, very, very humble and very, very available on many, many levels. Just feel this deep sense of brotherhood, sisterhood. As we make a circle. As we make a circle with all of our galactic brothers and sisters, the blue orb from inner Earth that was hovering above the lake comes over above our circle. Just feel your third eye now telepathically send out a blue laser beam to this sacred blue orb. Because for many of us, this will be where we source our spiritual nourishment. So, visualising a laser beam of blue light connecting you from your third eye to this blue orb, and using your breath. Breathe in your acknowledgement, your gratitude, and your intention to receive healing and recalibration from this blue orb. And at this point, the blue orb pops out into 222 versions of itself. And before you and your blue avian friend is a blue orb. There's two blue orbs. And just feel your heart chakra open like a golden door. And just close your eyes and just feel that blue orb enter into your heart. And that is your connection to inner Earth, to Agartha, to your fifth dimensional, pure, sacred, divine, innocent self. The self that is untouched from all lower programming, false ideas and beliefs. This blue orb connects you with your Christ self. And for many of us who are blue rays on this call, this is one of the most vital sources of nourishment for the blue ray soul. So just seal now this blue orb in our hearts and observe avian brother or sister, seal that in his or her heart. Just bow down in namaste. Place your foreheads together. Receive your final upgrade. May we roar like the lions and lionesses we were created to be. May we never ever be afraid to speak our truth, even if our voice shakes, even if our voice wobbles. We owe it to the universe to always speak our truth. May this force and knowing be ignited within you. Taking 3 deep breaths now, brothers and sisters. Knowing that these galactic journeys, there is no beginning and there is no end. For we are multidimensional beings and we have full access to all of these multiple dimensional realms at will. And there is no beginning and there is no end. There is simply the eternal now. So inviting all of us to take in 3 deep breaths, breathing in the knowing that we have been blessed with this orb, this blue orb. Blue orb is specifically for extreme spiritual thirst. And nourishment. Now, the avian brother or sister looks at us And they're called back now to go back to their home in inner earth. But there is no separation. There is no separation. We can call upon them at all times, at any time, and they will come. They truly, truly want to come. But just get a sense of this now. As all of us bringing our awareness back into our physical selves, knowing that our blue avian brothers and sisters are always available and we can call upon them. Inviting us all to bring our awareness to our tips of our fingers and toes. We find ourselves back outside Mount Shasta, and we're back in that beautiful sunset, and the sunset has got way more beautiful, and there are loads more rainbows in the sky. As we all take a step towards each other, just give each other the biggest equinox group hug ever. And say, we did it. This meditation is now complete, brothers and sisters. There is no rush. Take your time. I'm so grateful to all of you, truly. Forever and ever and ever, we are one with the infinite sun. Forever and ever and ever, kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate, ayano ayano ayano, kuate. We are in tune with our sister the moon, forever and ever and ever. We are in tune with our sister the moon, forever and ever and ever. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate, ayano ayano ayano. Kuate lienyo lienyo mawate mawate, ayano ayano ayano. How's that, guys? That was how epic was that? That baby, it's like, for me, it started off as a child and then it became a baby. So I was like saying child baby because it was kind of like it was morphing into both. That was overwhelming. I think that was the most important work I've ever done. God is magnificent. Yes, Buttercup. Yes. Yes. God is magnificent. God is my favourite word too, Buttercup. because I know God. So how could God not be my favourite word if I truly know God? Four sisters here in Shasta. Those avians. Whew. God, there's so much. That's the thing, like, do you know, I've probably done about 50 transmissions and I not once have repeated content. Can you believe that? Not even once in 50 transmissions have I ever done the same thing. I don't even know I've never even looked to see what I've done. But I just think, like, isn't that amazing? Because there's so much work to do. It's like we're constantly being shown. I guess sometimes we revisit stuff. I am blown away, brothers and sisters. I'm so blown away. I think I've got to light some Palo Santo. It's going to help. 183. Yeah, it's lovely to catch up with some of your messages. Thank you, and thank you so much for really honouring not messaging whilst we were live, brothers and sisters. It's so important that we hold that space because it's deep. It's so deep. I mean, those blue avians, I got really emotional. Like, oh, did you tell? Like, I got all my black under my eyes. I got really emotional. Guys, did anyone else get really emotional when the blue avians came? Because when I looked into their eyes, I was just like, oh, they were like friends. They were like mates at a festival. They were like really, really, really old mates that I haven't seen at a festival. They were like, Jen! And I'm like, oh, you're the kind of mates that I've been really looking for at festivals. I don't really find those mates at festivals. We would defo feel so whole and peaceful. Angelic timelines and telepathic voices coming through here. It was amazing. Hi to Mount Shasta. Another beloved Jen. Yes, I cried. Oh, yeah, the blue avians, they got me. Because I think they're quite human in a way. Like, they've got the similar desires as us. There's something about them that is quite related to us, I feel. And I think they like pleasure. They like to have a good time. They like to be with their mates. They probably like to, I don't know, like maybe explore sort of like plants or something. I don't know. But I get that feeling, and I get that feeling that they're not ridiculously high dimension. They're sort of like 5D and 6D, and felt emotional right from the beginning. Their eyes were like dancing lights. Oh, guys, thank you so much for like doing this amazing work. Honestly, like, we're doing so much for the collective. Like, we're doing this for all the generations to come. You know, we're doing our bit. And we're setting these templates, these really, really super important templates. These are the blueprints of the collective consciousness, you know. And I don't know, but I got a really strong message that when we did that child thing, yeah, and we saw that child in the centre of the core, and then all of a sudden those musical instruments came, like, I got a really, really, really strong telepathic message at that moment that was symbolic, that was actually a shift in frequency. The musical notes were symbolic of an actual shift in frequency that had just taken place within the core of Earth. And so how that, then that sort of like activates a sort of like reverberation effect from the higher dimensional realms, from like 12D and above, like, which is the core of the Earth. But then it kind of like has this sort of like, you know, really, really intense knockdown effect. And I think that's what I'm being shown. So like, what I'm saying is it's really so important what we're being called to do. And we might not always necessarily see but definitely, I mean, I feel for myself what I was being shown was very, very much that we activated proper shifts in the core. Who would agree? I cried when I imagined picking up my inner child. I know, there was so much in that. Like the whole thing was so, I'm quite blown away actually. I mean, the work we did with our own inner child, it was like, yeah, how could we activate that energy within the core of the earth unless we had reactivated that template of innocence within our own self, you know? And we did, that we did. But energy I was receiving, I was playing my medicine drum, yeah, Di, yes, group light language, whoop, whoop. Oh, amazing. Oh, it's so cool, guys. Yeah, it's really, really so amazing. And yeah, and I can't wait to, you know, meet up with whoever's going to come to my Glastonbury retreat. Who is actually going to manifest coming to my Glastonbury retreat? Who's going to like test the universe to see how miraculous everything is and manifest coming to have this absolutely amazing healing experience in the sacred Isle of Avalon, and to meet me and to hang out as sisters, as brothers, and in the Shekinah Ashram, the most holiest spot in Avalon, at the foot of Chalice Hill, in an absolutely pure ashram where they make arti every single day, and fire pujas, pure vegan, pure organic food. I'll be sharing many bhajans, kirtan, sacred medicine songs, healing through vibration. It's all about like coming together to bring us to that vibration of home.com. Like that's what it's all about, getting to the vibration stabilized in the vibration of home.com. Do you know what I mean? So it's about being together, and we're going to have sacred conversations about ascension, about twin souls. We're going to do transmissions, we're going to do deep healing journeys, we're going to be working with our galactic brothers and sisters, we're going to be working with Yeshua and Magdalene, we're going to be going to the sacred sites, I'm going to be sharing yoga. I'm a yoga teacher. So I need a little bit of yoga, but I love yoga. Yoga's really important, and I you know, it's such an important part of my life, and so I want to share that in my sacred gatherings. So there's two options available. There's a full residential with food and everything and board, and then there's a non-residential. So if you're interested, please write to me. There's a few places left, and but I just can't wait to meet so many of you from the event is happening that I haven't met, you know, and you can manifest it. This is such magical times. Like you just say, I need to go to Avalon, like probably sisters are mainly the ones that are drawn to my work and retreats and stuff. Probably you are an Avalon priestess. So if you're an Avalon priestess, you just say to your team, I'm an Avalon priestess, I want to go back to Avalon. You get me to Avalon. Like just go, you order the universe, you command the universe. You get me to Avalon. Do you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? Like, if you feel a calling that you're meant to be there, then you trust in the magic of the universe to make it happen. So I'm excited. So I just want to let you all know about that. There'll be loads of music and singing, and because that's me. That's who I am. You know, I'm a sacred musician, and if I had my way, I'd just be playing music all the time. But anyway. So the next transmission is going to be the 4/4. That's going to be, we're going to be working a lot with the divine masculine. Big things going on with the divine masculine ascension right now, brothers and sisters. And we had to do this clearing now, getting the divine feminine fully empowered. All of those old programs cleared. So she's not going to take no more BS on her journey. She's going to be standing strong like the warrior queen that she came here to be, you know. So we've had to do this work with the divine feminine for the equinox transmission. And now, as we move into 4/4, as we move into the Easter gateway, we're going to be focusing a lot on the divine masculine, because there is an en masse wave of collective divine masculines that are on the verge of boom, third eye awakenings, and it's happening. I've been having so many visions, and I've never ever had visions so much of the same thing, and it's just constant. And it's a wave, it's a particular wave of divine masculine. So we're gonna, yeah, that's what we're gonna be focusing towards as we move towards 4/4 and the Easter gateway. And a lot of this divine masculine energy is connected to the gateway, to the Easter gateway, and it's to do with the resurrection of the Christ in man and the transmutation of the beast and all that. It's all beautiful. It's all beautiful, because man is beast and man is Christ, and it's all sacred and it's all beautiful, and we all have shadow and we all have light, and they're all equally as beautiful, because it's all of God, you know. 4/4 is my birthday. Ooh. My twin is like a shell. Don't worry about your twin, darling. All of us, the message for the divine feminines, do not worry about. Do you think the flower wakes up in the morning going, oh, I wonder what the bee's doing today? I wonder what the bee's doing today. flower is not thinking about what the bee's up to. Like the flower's just like, oh, I just want to get sweeter. I just want my fragrance to like even be more. How can I love myself more? How can I have that experience of love in myself more? That's what the flower's focused on. Do you know what I mean? Like in the old paradigm, the flower was focusing on the bee and was like waking up every morning going, where's the bee? Where's the bee? Surely the bee should be here by now. But we're not, it's no more, we're not doing that anymore. So anyway, that was just a little response to our sister Louisa's little comment. I shan't be going down that avenue. So that's it, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for all being here. And I'm so honoured to walk this path with you. There are 144 of us here. Boom Shankar. Sending you all so much love and respect. And I'll see you in the next day, probably. Love the flower bee metaphor. So perfect. So much love to you, Buttercup, and to everybody, and to Scott, to everyone. You're all amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being so amazing. And thank you to all the moderators. Kelly's a moderator. Thank you. This page, I couldn't do it on my own. I'm so grateful to all the moderators, keeping this page so immaculate, beautiful. So that's it. I shall be back in the next few days with some offering of some description. So, bless you all. Namaste.